open real quick. Good morning, Spikelings. I'm Modern's #1 innovator. A near trophy leader, aspiring spike, not even that near. Welcome back to my Shark Typhoon. Yesterday Typhoon, I not only created a whole new copyrightable deck, but a brand new face damage archetype to go with it. Today we're starting with Grixis Stress Down and search for more trophies. Yeah, I might play some more of that face damage deck. It's like a red deck that deals damage directly to them instead of interacting with their creatures. It's really interesting. Find out by watching, leave a like, and then unfollow the stream after that. Thank you, Chess. Good morning, JK. 9-month. Happy anniversary, dude. Glad that you're sticking around. We'll play some Spell Shift as soon as the trophy race is over. 15 months. Yeah, we're going to keep grinding. We're going to be working hard. This is the exact list I played in the Hunter Burton Memorial Open over the weekend, which was a paper tournament that was like 550 players. And I top 8'd the event with it, and it is a little bit different from what we've been playing online. Not too crazy, where I ended up cutting the second Kroxa for the main for the 4th Drown, which ended up feeling pretty good. And then I cut the 4th Delta for the 3rd Scalding Tarn, just have equal number of black and red fetches. And then with that extra sideboard slot, oh, actually, I'm playing the 3rd Flusterstorm over the 3rd Lantern. I was playing 3 Lanterns in my board in the open. Today I'm playing 3 Flusterstorms to hedge against Rhinos a bit more. Is it possible to double queue in the same format? It's not. You can only be in one Modern League at the same time. We're playing a Lurrus Mirror. I think we have to keep this on the draw. Yeah, Prince is definitely killing it. It's super impressive. I'm glad that we have a rival. I'm glad that we've got someone we're fighting against. It's going to be really, really hard to win this race. I'm going to do everything I possibly can. I promise. I love the spirit of competition. It's going to be tough. There's a Bloodstained Mire on top. I think I'll keep that. Play the monkey. I think I'm playing Dimir Just Down. Yeah, I like that deck a lot. This Prince Notes race. Yeah, Prince has been posting a bit about it. Although Prince, you know, also, of course, like Prince has set the all-time trophy record last season with, I believe it was 72 trophies in the single season, which is an absurd amount. So it's, you know, Prince might be playing the same way no matter what. Pretty strong hand over there. The Drown, Esper control with Drown and Lurrus. Very cool. Very cool. Gotta do a co-stream together. I don't know. I always feel weird when I you know, maybe weird is a strong word, but whenever I have to, like, whenever I do a collab with somebody that I don't necessarily have, you know, I don't know them at all, it can be a bit weird. It can be a little while before you get any chemistry going. That's just probably me being a bit awkward. I'm really surprised they put Lurrus in their hand there when they had Counterspell up, by the way. Why 2 snow covered lands instead of normal basics? So first things first, there is no reason not to play snow covered basics in Modern. Nobody's playing Crack the Earth at the moment. And even if they are, they shouldn't bring it in against just a couple basic lands in a deck like this. But the mechanical reason to play it is if you hit your opponent with Ragavan and you reveal Omthanize or Ice Fang, it's pretty good if you have snow basics. It's a pretty big advantage for you. Yeah, I think that I am just going to attack and try to hit them for 12 here. Have you considered trying a Cascade deck for the race, or do you think Darcy decks are still the way to go? I am still trying to win this race, playing in the same way that I have been. That's always been like a bit of a, thank you for the cheer chest. That's always been, you know, maybe a bit of an unstated part of this, but I want to win this race playing the same way I always play, which is building decks and innovating and tuning and like trying to push the envelope in Modern. And I don't want this stream to become, you know, what I've never wanted it to become.
Your friend Aspiring Spike.
Ever just plays, you know, the tier 1 decks of the format as quickly as possible. I think that it's really boring. I think that's never what I want the stream to be. I'm not going to play the iteration into the counterspell, especially not when I can't play the land off of it. That's never what I want the stream to be, and it's not going to become that. And we also have a long time left in the season. I'm not currently planning on taking any more weekends off. Although it's also like on the weekends I still would like to play the challenges. But we can play leagues in between rounds, you know. We've got time. We've got time to catch up. It's my ninja way. What's trophy 24? Well, I can't quite say because I recorded a video with they're main decking Chalice. Awesome. I recorded a video for Channel Fireball last night, and I got trophy 24 last night. The two could be related. All right, if we had a land here, we had a land here. Eric gifted 10 subs. Hell yeah, let's go. I would sure like to go and draw a land though. It's kind of unlucky. And they've got a prismatic ending on top. Come on, no lands in the top top 6. Thank you, Eric. I knew Image 2 was gonna be big. Yeah, I've definitely been just really hard. Yeah, Delta variant's been a huge bummer as well for me. Oh, opponent, no! We'll take it though. We gotta get these wins. Voody, thank you for 3 months. Yeah, if you got a gifted sub from Eric, make sure to thank them. Well, that was a gift, huh? Oh, they have Dress Down? Awesome. Their deck is so cool. Have I trophied every Fireball video? No. But I have trophied like a lot of them lately. I think I don't know. I know that like the first like 3 I didn't. I think I've probably only trophied like 3 of them actually. But like a bunch of the recent ones I have. So my opponent's playing Dress Down. They probably have Thing of the Ice in their deck, right? They also have Chalice, so maybe we'll play Terminate and not Unholy Heat. Oh, I guess I need to bring in Explosives for Chalice. That card is just so hard to beat. I can cut a Dress Down. Oh, I want Unearth. Yeah, Dress Down's not great in the Dress Down mirrors usually. Thank you, nitpicky nerds. You guys work really hard too, of course. I think the Rakdos deck is still positioned super well. Well, JK, I would say that this is the Rakdos deck evolved. I think that this is an evolution of the Rakdos deck. I think that this is a better variant at the moment, but I think that the Rakdos like is gonna be better if like Burn is super popular and if Voidwalker is well positioned. Is usually when I would recommend Rakdos over this deck. But that is yeah, this is the Rakdos deck. It's just a variant of it. It's I wrote a big article about this deck and talking about how if you want to like master the Ragavan Lurrus piles, you need to understand that Jund, Rakdos, Grixis, these Black Red, these are all the same deck, and they're just different variants that you need to like, learn the strengths and weaknesses of all of them, and then ideally try to pick the best one from weekend to weekend. We have Kroxa on top. Kroxa is like the best card in these matchups, man. Kroxa is like the best card, but I feel like not getting to cast Ragavan on turn 1 is probably not worth it to draw the Kroxa, so maybe I should have just bobbled them. Oh, they play a stock tier on deck to grind trophies. I don't really want to think about it. It's not how I like to play. I guess I probably should have Explosives first. Yeah, the Ship of Theseus. Yeah, I talked about the Ship of Theseus in the article. I thought it was pretty relevant. Like, so there's the Ship of Theseus is like a kind of classic thought experiment, right? If a ship like goes out on a voyage, and over the course of the voyage, you replace every single plank of wood and the sails and the crew. At a certain point, does it stop? Does it stay the same ship, or does it stay a different ship? And kind of in the same way, you change one card from a deck, is it still the same deck? at one point do different decks become different decks, and so I just kind of was trying to put that into the head that you should think of this deck as Rakdos mid-range, you know. Well, our draws definitely lined up well against our opponents. Bolt 5 months, appreciate ya. Glad you liked the article. Yeah, I feel like I've been doing really well with the articles lately. Been working really hard on them. Just wrote one last night. Should be up tomorrow or today about the Jeskai Murktide control. Check it out with the CFB Pro subscription. Is Spell Stutter a bad idea for Blue Red Moon control? I think for Blue Moon, you are probably, it's probably in your best interest. Let's see if they want to block and respect Lightning Bolts. Yeah, they just kind of have to block. I think it's in your best interest to, or so for Spell Stutter Sprite, it's in your best interest to either be playing Stoneforge Mystic, Sprite Dragon, or, why didn't they play their second thing in the ice? Sprite Dragon or Toski. Just one of those cards in your deck is probably necessary in order to make Spell Stutter Sprite a worthwhile card to play. Trophy 24 was with the video I recorded, or I recorded a video for Channel Fireball last night, and then I also got trophy number 24 last night, and the two could be related. But who knows? The opponent drew Snapcaster Mage. Maybe play around EE on 2. Oh, for them? Yeah, that could make sense. It's actually like really relevant here, especially with the Lurrus. The Blue and Murktide falls in the same category as those Lurrus Darcy piles. I do not. Good question. It's my opinion. So like the blue red Murktide decks they're blue based. And they're playing counter spells, Archmage's Charms, cantrips. They are playing Ragavan Darcy, but that's really where the similarities end. If I attack, I do. Let's see. Fetch down to 8. Yeah, I think I might need to keep my life total low. What was the 24th? I want to keep it kind of secret, I guess. I don't know. Does it matter? Okay, how about this? I'll tell you what deck trophy number 24 is if you guys promise when you see the Channel Fire video, you go in and you like it or something. You click on it. Is that a deal? Is that a deal? Do not tell. I think that we're gonna get more likes. Okay. So, and you guys, you know, may be surprised to hear, but trophy 24 was with the Smallpox deck that I streamed with yesterday. I know that everybody in chat hated the deck and declared it to be bad and unplayable. But I believed in the deck the whole time, and I really felt like we ran bad yesterday. It's definitely a high variance deck, but I liked the deck, and that's what the trophy was with. I lost playing twice for 5-0 off stream like 2 nights ago, and I was like really impressed with the deck. And I know yesterday I streamed it; it didn't look that good, but I still believed in it. We trophied with the deck, so. Why would you call back-to-back 4-1s unplayable? It's just that's just always what happens, right? If you like stream a new deck, if I stream a new deck and I run bad with it, chat hates it. But if I win, yesterday was weird because I actually won my first 3 matches. I think chat was hyped, but then I just kept losing a bunch, and then everybody declared that I was washed up and out of touch. When will the video be up? It'll be up at some point this week. It just depends on when the editor gets around to it, so it could be today, it could be tomorrow, it could be Friday. No blocks, wow. Wasn't really expecting that. They have a chalice on top. So there are 2 CFP subscriptions. There's a $5 tier where you just get access to all the articles, which is honestly insane value to get access to my articles, to articles of Reduke, Andrea Mengucci, Huey Jensen, LSV. It's insane to get you get access to these players' brains for a very, very low price. And then there's also a $10 tier, which is really only an option if you're in the States, but you get $10 Channel Fireball store credit that rolls over with this tier. So if you're going to spend $10 at Channel Fireball anyways, you get access to all this stuff for free. And I think it's a great way. I really do think this is an excellent system they've got. Tomaz, thank you for your 5-pack. That's really nice of you, buddy. Do I want to trade Lurrus's? I don't think I can, because I know my opponent has a Chalice in their hand, so I need to save my Lurrus to oh no. I wanted to save my Lurrus to explosives on 0. Thank you for your 5-pack, Tomaz. So I guess now we have to cycle this Unearth. My opponent's going to terminate my Lurrus. And then if I have 4 terminate, I have 2 terminates and 4 drowned locks I can draw into. I also might be able to kill them if I draw Kroxa, if they just don't have any spells in their hand. Nope. Alright, game 3. They're playing the Thing in the Ice deck, but they're splashing white for Prismatic Ending, which is probably fine. I brought in my explosives. Alright, let's go ahead and go to game 3. Okay, interesting. I've built this deck a couple of times. It's my opinion that if you're going to be doing this, it's possible that you want to cut the Voidwalkers, the Kroxas, the Terminates, and play Obosh as a companion. It's something to look at. But really, I feel like this deck is gonna just be worse than the Lurrus version. For the most part. I would really not recommend playing this version over the Lurrus variant that I've been playing. Bad 17 months. Hope you're having a good day today. Appreciate you. The exception, of course, would probably be if the Blood Moon is just an absurd card in the metagame, which it's not at the moment. Alright, graveyard that. Some good value. And Prismatic Ending on top, unfortunately for us. Sideboard seems largely fine. I will say that explosives is a lot worse when you don't have Lurrus in your sideboard. I think with Blood Moons in the main deck, you don't need Ashiok as a sideboard card. So I don't think I would recommend to you playing Ashiok. I want to Inquisition, try to snag a... oh, I should have fetched first. But I want to Inquisition and try to snag Chalice. Cling to Dust my Kroxa, sure. I guess I'm gonna graveyard this so I can get Delirium here. So they have Dam, Prismatic Ending, Thing in the Ice. Counter spell. Let me just take the 1-mana spell here. Yeah, you don't need the Ashiok, I think. I don't think Plague Engineer is super necessary at the moment, but I do think Elementals is a tough matchup, and so like having a ton of sideboard cards for it makes sense. That is true that this version is probably better against Elementals overall. I do think that you have the main deck built pretty well for this idea, I'll also say. I don't think I would really change very much. So my opponent is holding up Counterspell here. And usually on turns like this, where my opponent holds up Counterspell and these Lurrus mirrors, I just put Lurrus in my hand. And I get to, use my mana efficiently, and they don't get to use their mana efficiently at all. I could have played Channeler and held up Drowned, but I feel like this is a bit better. Especially because I have the Bauble. Yeah, I feel like you do have a good build of this deck, but I actually don't think I would change almost anything about the main deck. I think you probably want one more utility land, so you could play like you probably would want to play at least the red first strike land for Ragavan here. It's obviously not like the biggest deal. So if I play Lurrus Ragavan, my opponent can overload Dam if they have drawn a white source. That's probably fine though. I'm just gonna cast the Ragavan and like, just say if you drew the white source, you get to overload Dam, but you have to kill your own Darcy, and then we've got like a pretty good follow-up. They don't have probably that much untapped white mana. Okay, there they go. The hand is still going to be Prismatic Ending, Thing in the Ice, Counterspell. Ding, 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 ding. The best draw by, it's not really even very close. I think I just want to get threats back with Lurrus here, knowing my opponent's hand. My opponent needs, if they want to be able to Prismatic Ending with Counterspell up, they need to draw a land. Did I take Prismatic with Inquisition? They drew another one. Maybe you're right. Did, yeah. Been kind of bad with my hand management lately. How does this deck compete with 4-color Crypt list? I think that's a fine matchup. I honestly don't think that deck's, like, honestly particularly good. I think it's fine. I wouldn't say that it's particularly bad either. But I just don't, I'm not really that very scared of it, I'd say. Alright, keep that. So they have like Supreme Verdict we probably lose, but I think we beat almost everything else. All right, up a game. Ironclad, 2 gifted subs. Thank you for that. It's up for a deck tech. This hand. I saw you play against a 4-color Breach deck. Tried to build it myself. Oh, dude, that deck was awesome. So it's playing Omnath, Emrakul, 3 Breach, 3 Emrakul. Actor Fiction went through the Breach is kind of interesting. Kind of into it. I would say that this deck probably wants to play Growth Spiral pretty badly. Yeah, I feel like this deck wants to play Spiral pretty badly. I also I've always kind of hated wanting to play Prismatic Ending, Lightning Bolt, Written 6, Counterspell, Archmage's Charm. I think you probably just can't afford to play Charm. Your mana gets so much better if you don't play Charm. And so if you just kind of cut those for let me go Inquisition on turn 1 here. If you end up cutting those for Growth Spirals, I feel like you're going to be faster, and then you're also going to be, a bit more consistent, which is nice. So we have Lightning Bolt for Stoneforge Mystic. I'll take the Unmarked Grave. That's actually the one I'm scared of here. Is if I let them Unmarked Grave for Archon, if they just get to put an Archon in the yard, eventually they'll draw Persist, and I'll probably be very cold to it. If they want to Thoughtseize my Channeler, I'm pretty okay with this. Is another Thoughtseize? Sure. I can take my bolts. Yeah, I don't like that very much. Their Stoneforge Mystic is just so fragile, and I have a bunch of selection here to find an answer like that. Yeah, so that's the main thing I'd change. You probably want to relook at the mana, and you can play more basic lands, which is going to be something I think you're probably going to be interested in. In the sideboard, I do like the Torpor Orbs. I'd probably play the 3rd Ancient Grudge. I don't think you need Veil of Summer. Your deck's so grindy. Yeah, your deck's so grindy, I don't think you need to play Ancient Grudge. What has a Godless Shrine on top of their library? I think I'm just going to go ahead and fetch Shock here. Oh no, what am I doing? Oh, what am I doing? I can't believe it. I can't believe it. I shuffled away the stupid Drown. I'm sorry, chat. I feel so dumb. Just trying to multitask too much. Sideboard seems fine. Gosh, I can't believe it. I'll take a look, Jed. Just give me a second. I gotta focus up a little bit. We can still beat this. The Shock is also gonna be really unfortunate for us, but if we actually just draw 1 Lightning Bolt, we're winning this race. Yeah, I drew the drown. I drew again. Obviously, it's just like not fast enough here. Yeah, drown's rubbing it in. We'd also draw Dress Down. Dress Down will be able to kill the germ token here. Now Kroxa is going to be lethal too. Counter this. Death Shadow blocks the germ token for me. I think I'm supposed to keep that on top. And then, do I drown the Stoneforge Mystic? Yes. Because I'm going to have to do that next turn anyways. We've got Lurrus last turn. Well, then we wouldn't have been able to drown the Brutality. You would wait? What are we waiting for, though? Because now we don't get to get the Surveil. Maybe that's. I feel like getting Lurrus is probably better. Because like here we can. I guess the Shadow gets exiled. But I have another Shadow in my yard. I can go Lurrus Shadow if they can kill this. Although if they can, I mean, I guess what can kill the Darcy that couldn't kill the Shadow. You got 18 lands, 4 drown, 2 duration, 2 Kroxa. Yes, that's the case. Okay, well, despite my best efforts or worst efforts, whatever you want to say, got there. Playing against the Stoneforge variant of the Reanimator deck. So let me go ahead and bring in these Lanterns. I do usually like some Flusterstorms against them. Dress Down's pretty good against Stoneforge Mystic, the Reanimator deck, reanimation card sometimes. Terminate kills Archon. Kind of feeling interested in like the first Terminate and going down on bolts, maybe 1 bolt. I know it does kill Stoneforge Mystic, but Dress Down also stops Stoneforge ETB. You've got other answers. Maybe 2 bolts. 2 Terminates? 6 discard spells. Maybe we could cut a Shadow. Play the second Terminate. Because if we go like Dress Down, their Archon, then Terminate, that can be kind of good. I do want some amount of Flusterstorms too. Oh, Kroxa's pretty bad against them. Yeah, Kroxa's pretty bad where if they just have Archon in their hand. I did this last night. My opponent cast Kroxa. I just discarded Archon and persisted. I think it's a card you don't want. Why did Shadow go to exile under complete? Does it matter for something? Usually Magic Online keeps track of what permanents exile what, but I don't think it matters for anything now. Okay, so this is what we just lost to. So the idea is that you're splashing white for Prismatic Ending, and you feel like you can't support, or you don't want the Into the Stories. You're playing Chalice instead. I think this is fine. I'm not a huge fan of Esper Charm, but it might be okay. I don't like Vindicate in Modern very much in general. I don't think I would be playing it. I do like the 1 main deck explosives. I also say your Snapcasters are like a lot worse when you don't have 1 mana cantrips. So I feel like you could pretty easily cut the 3rd Snapcaster if you wanted to. I would probably play the 4th Drown, although I guess you don't have as much support for it. I feel like 2 Hall of the Storm Giants and a Castle of Antris is too many blue utility lands. I feel like I would cut one of these. We keep this. I'm gonna mulligan, I think. My opponent also mulls to 6. This hand's not great. I think we have to keep on 6. Grief, but no Ephemerate. Deal. I don't really like Unmoored Ego. I don't want to play that card at the moment. I would play more Flusterstorms. I do like the Sideboard Thoughtseize. I like the Katakis. I like the Seal of Cleansing. Guys, Guile's fine. Pretty good draw. They pitch Bone Shards. I think those are just a bunch of loose thoughts. I think this version's fine. I probably would prefer the blue-black variant, but Esper definitely has some strengths, of course. In general, how much do you think Flusterstorm better than Dispute? A lot better. It's like Flusterstorm is for mostly the Cascade matchups. Like this is why you play the card. bummer. You play it to beat up on the Cascade decks, and Dispute isn't very good at doing that, so that's the main comparison. EE on 1. Okay, they only have 1 card left in their hand. I guess I don't want to play the Lantern into the EE on 1 yet. Field Dismember is no longer a good choice in Shadowless. So it's just like worse removal than Heat Bolt, I think, for the most part. I think so, Matthew. It's not a big deal if you didn't. Oh yeah, you did. I played them this weekend. Another deck tech. That could be a land. I guess I'm gonna upkeep just because they do play discard spells. But I think you could play a Fluster, like a Dismember in this deck. It would be fine probably. But this deck is like no longer just built around Death Shadow. Death Shadow is just kind of like an extra threat in this deck. They have Archon of Cruelty. 1 mystery card. I could just find 1 land at any point in this game. I'd be doing all right. Okay, so it's my opinion that you don't want to be reliant on Teferi, Hero of Dominaria as your main win condition and control if you're not playing Chalice of the Void in the main deck. Which you can do by playing only Prismatic Ending as your 1-mana removal spell. Prismatic Ending is also better than Bolt. You should not be playing 4 Bolt before 4 Ending in a deck like this, anyways. Okay, so now we're at 6 looks, no 7 looks because of the Bauble without finding a land. I also like Fire Ice a lot in these decks. You should not be playing less than 4 Expressive Iteration. Don't play Electrolyze, that card's unplayable. Don't play Cryptic Command at the moment. Don't play Celestial Colonnade, play Hall of the Storm Giants, in my opinion. Yeah, play Hall of the Storm Giants over Colonnade, in my opinion. I've been playing a Jeskai control list that's playing Murktide Regent as its main win condition, and I've been really liking that deck. Look into that. Still no land drop. Still no land drop. We played against any Etron and Chalice decks. I board in explosives against Chalice decks. We just beat Esper control deck with Chalice with explosives. In my opinion, you should play 1 more land. It's so easy to come into the chat and say, hey, Spike, I think you should play 1 more land when I'm missing a bunch of land drops. It's just so easy to come in and say that. I'm gonna Inquisition here. But I've been playing a ton of this deck. I feel like 18 lands is a really good number. I was playing 19 for a while. Wait, they didn't ephemerate? They must have just drawn it. I was playing 19 lands for a while, and I like cutting the land, but it's just so easy to come in a game where I miss every land drop and say, I think we should add a land to this deck. You know, you just really shouldn't be that results oriented in your thinking, in my opinion. We're probably gonna win this game anyways, by the way. Okay, so I know I'm throwing a lot of thoughts at you real quick, but I've been preferring my Jeskai Murktide control deck if you want to play Jeskai in general, but if you want to play Teferi Hero, I would recommend main deck Chalice, just because Heat is such a problem. And then probably playing 3 Hero if you're playing the main deck Chalices. And then of course not playing Bolt, not playing Opt, probably going down on Snapcaster. I don't like Sideboard Helix. I think that card's either main board or find a more efficient like card against burn post board, like Core Firewalker or Blossoming Calm. I think that you want more Flusterstorms over Disputes. I know that they are different cards, but Flusterstorm is really important to beat Cascade matchups, which can be quite tough. I don't think you need Aether Gust. There's not a lot of Titan at the moment. Just would recommend leaving those at home for now. They have a Kaya on top, which you do have a Drown for, but Kaya is like the best card in this matchup. Cyber card, you like Force of Vigor, Ancient Grudge, and deck that casts either. I really like Grudge at the moment, but Force is also fine. Kind of depends on what the deck is. So they're holding on to their Kaya, so I can Thoughtseize it, especially if I draw a land. I didn't draw the land. I probably shouldn't tap out of Drown. let's go ahead and wait one more turn. We can end of turn dress down now. Cycle. Do you think removing dress down in the main deck to include Scourge is a bad idea? I do think it's a bad idea. Yeah, I think that Scourge, like dress down in my opinion is one of the best cards in this deck. So I'm not of the opinion that the deck would be better if we got to play Scourge instead. So now what I want to do is terminate the priest and hold up the dress down to deal with the priest Unearth. Ooh. Fair enough. So my opponent's hand is Kaya, Archon of Cruelty, mystery card. Now I can, I think, Thoughtseize the Kaya. Wait, they have Vindicate and they're not just like snapping off Vindicate on one of my lands? I guess, thank you, opponent. Yeah, Scourge, I agree that Scourge is also not particularly good in Modern at the moment. We just down as Unearth Priest, do they sack end of turn? I believe that they sack at the end of the next turn. Once the ability comes back. It's a bit weird. Pretty bad if they drew a discard outlet. Can't be Bone Shards, have to be like Brutality though. Get back Voidwalker, and they drew another Priest. Bad too. There's just an Unholy Heat in the yard at the moment though. Look, I can play both shadows here. What is the best way to use Just Down versus Elementals? I mean, it's a very versatile card, right? Where it usually like just stops. You know, it kind of think of this card as a counterspell that gets around Cavern of Souls, where you don't get to kill their creature, but you get to draw a card. You stop that creature's enter the battlefield effect. One really effective way to use it against them, though, in the late game is to have Lurrus in play, and at the end of your turn, every turn, cast Dress Down in your own instep. And that way, Dress Down is just going to be in play on their turn, so their Omnath, their Risen Reefs, like nothing they play at instant speed is going to be able to be played for, or at sorcery speed is going to be able to be played for any value. Just saying the legacy players are smarter because they discovered Dress Down before Splabs. I guess so, yeah. I guess I'm saying exactly that. I'm going to heat my shadow. Fine. Are the strengths and weaknesses of Lurrus Darcy Piles compared to Blue-Red Tempo? Well, they get to be more proactive, which is, of course, like usually a pretty strong thing. Let that go. Yeah, they get to be a bit more proactive. Maybe I was actually supposed to kill them with this Dress Down, huh? Probably was. Yeah, but the red-black decks get to be more proactive. Of course, they get to play Lurrus as a companion, which is busted. Yeah, I know the legacy players were definitely on Dress Down before modern players were. I think a Blue-Red Mercantile, it's a totally reasonable deck. Totally reasonable deck. Was an instep Dress Down main phase draw lethal? Yeah, I don't know if you heard, but I said, oh, I think we should have killed them. How does Dress Down plus Voidwalker work? I mean, Dress Down should turn off the shadow and then these abilities, right? Looks like they're dead. Dead here though. I can go drown the. Wait. Yeah, I don't have anything in my exile currently. We should be good. Oh no. If I drown the Stoneforge Mystic, my opponent can use Voidwalker to drown. Wasn't lethal because you had 2 blockers. Voidwalker doesn't block. But yeah, but here if I drown the Voidwalker, they can drown my shadow or drown whatever. So I guess I have to drown the Voidwalker here probably. Just wait. No, I have to kill the Voidwalker, I think. And then I can play Lurrus. Oh. Does it change anything? I guess so. I guess it does, you know, kind of change things. Because they don't know I have the dress down in my hand. They probably have the chump block either way, though. And I think I just want to go Lurrus end of turn dress down. I just have that in play. It kind of stops anything they can do. They get Archon in play, it doesn't trigger. If they priest, it doesn't do anything. They can't because they're just. Oh, good point, good point, good point, good point. What a weird game. Now the game is over. 2-0, been playing kind of sloppy today though. Gotta tighten it up a bit. Yeah, we can keep this one. Probably leading on Darcy. How many judge calls do you get for Just Out over the weekend? Actually 0, I think. I think actual 0. It seemed like most people were pretty aware of what was going on, which was kind of surprising to me. And okay, I want to keep this land, so I think we're just gonna hold up Drown this turn. They have a Hallowed Fountain on top. Yeah, actually, I think 0 just calls about Dress Down this weekend. Maybe I'm forgetting one, but I think everybody was just kind of aware of how it was working. I thought it was going to be a bunch, which I actually like even considered not really playing the deck because of it. Yeah, don't have a ton of artifact hate. I have a couple of explosives. Be kind of a hard matchup. We just took their 2-for-1. I'll drown the engineer. I changed my music. We seeing any more of that sweet random deck? Well, I played, so if you're talking about the black-white variant, I played 2 leagues 2 nights ago off stream. I lost playing for 5-0 twice in a row. I played it on stream. I ran bad, and chat was like, "Oh, Spike, this deck sucks. Don't ever play it again. Only play my pet deck." And I said, "Okay, chat." But then I recorded for Channel Fireball last night, and I did trophy that league. So we might see some more of it again in the future. All right, Thought Foundry, pretty scary draw. We lost to this deck playing for 5-0 with Burn yesterday, this Esper deck, or blue-white deck. It's my Shadow to 5-5. And lets me put Lurrus in my hand next turn. Alright, they just took it. Was it the original list of... No, I ended up changing some things. Yeah, let me actually pull up the list I trophied with last night. But you guys have to watch the Channel Fireball video, okay? You have to watch the Channel Fireball video. This is the deal in exchange for me showing you this list. You have to watch it. So I ended up cutting the second Kaya from the main for the third Liliana. I was playing 2 Castle Lock Twains. And then I was playing the Souls of the sideboard. The Souls felt pretty good. Kind of over the Stoneforge package. Like, the Souls just kind of crushed all the Ragavan decks. But you have to watch, you have to, you know, say, "Oh wow, I'm watching this for the first time. I did not know how this match is going to go, but I'm really happy that I'm watching this video on Channel Fireball, and I'm glad that Channel Fireball hired my favorite streamer, Aspiring Spike." I want more red because I have the heat here. I don't want Ragavan against the Thopter Foundry. For you, which are the best decks now in Modern? I really like this deck I'm playing right now. I really like this deck I'm playing right now. But I also think Hammer Time's quite good. I think Elementals is quite good. I think I'll just let this happen. There's like one more deck that's really good at the moment. Any chance you could run Castle Lock Twain in the Shadow deck or play? No, not really. No, I don't think so. You need your mana to be a bit better. I think we have to counter this, unfortunately. I played a Yorion deck in paper? Not in paper, no. Kind of a scary card. We do get to heat. Probably saved it, I guess. Think we can squeeze one cancel this list? No, I just said no. I really don't think so. I don't think it would be good at all. It's non-token, right? Okay, so I bolt here. So I Thoughtseize to grow the shadow. I guess I could have Thoughtseize myself and then escaped Kroxa. That could have been a better line. I think the 4-color general deck's good. Typhoon is playable at the moment, but it's not great. But it's playable. Okay, so there are some top decks we lose to, of course, but Kroxa is going to be pretty good at pressuring my opponent's life total here. They drew a spell. Please no Sword of the Meek. Is it Cord? Or no, Whir? It's definitely Whir, dude. It's definitely. We attack. Wait, no, if it's Whir, why would they let me like draw a Drown into Loch here? Yeah, it's not Whir. They wouldn't let me draw Drown. Yeah, it's a spell that they want to be able to discard to Kroxa. Okay. Exile. There's another Thopter Foundry. You go to attacks, no creatures on the board. You press the opponent for any effects, but they allow you to go to blocks. If they create the creature in their blocking phase, can they still block? If the creatures are created in the blocking phase, blocks are declared at the beginning of the blocker's step. They have to do it in the attacker's phase. But if your opponent like just doesn't understand how that rule is, and you don't feel like they're trying to angle shoot you, you should probably just let them have it, I think. And like explain to them how it works would be something else I'd recommend to you. Winning this game is pretty nice because I don't think this matchup is good. So I do think Dress Down's pretty good against Urza, the tokens, and the Goblin Engineer. Does their deck play Imri? Probably play. It plays at least Engineer. Maybe we can get the 4th iteration, the 4th lightning bolt, to the 4th shadow. Where's your hat? Did you redeem a hat and I missed it? Oh, you did. With the shark hat? Do that one. Needle Plague, thank you for your Twitch Prime subscription. You're having a good day, buddy. I guess we keep this. Hank has a lot of cantrips. The most is 6. Lantern only stops the Thopter Sword combo if they don't have another artifact to sacrifice. It's really not very good at stopping the loop. I do like a Ragavan on turn 1. And I think I'll take this Inquisition. Alright, well, I'll take this land, I guess. Swamp. Deal. You ever get your Ragavan pathed on turn 1? It's just hard to be too upset about it. And Dress Down, pretty good against Urza Saga. Interesting. I'll Inquisition here. It's possible I'm supposed to put Lurrus in my hand instead. I don't have Flusterstorm. Any suggestions for alternative? Well, you want something that's good against the Cascade decks in that spot. So you can play, you could play, what's the card? Invasive Surgery. Invasive Surgery is a 1-mana instant that counters target sorcery, and if you have Delirium, you exile all those copies. Invasive Surgery might actually just be, like, super sick tech. Kind of surprised they're not making a token here. Yeah, you could also play Test of Talents, but I think just like Invasive Surgery being 1 mana makes me favor that card instead. You could do that, yeah. Say still need to bolt this. Maybe I should have EE on 2 here. Could have been better. Explosives is a pretty valuable card. For you, Blue Red Murktide, one of the best decks. It's I would say in like the second tier, but it's a good deck, yeah. I would say that it's a top 5 deck probably. We did know about that Glimmer Void. Oh, come on. I guess I'm gonna end of turn dress down. I would have smacked him for so much. Then I think I'll, well, I can explosives for 1. I can explosives for 1 to preserve the dress down. I think I'll just go Lurrus in hand here and then play explosives on 2. Do I like the Pox Reanimator deck? I do, yeah. I do. I've apparently been playing way better with it off stream compared to on stream. Oh, surprisingly sacked this to draw card. But I have been doing pretty well with it. Do you see what I see? 2 Glimmer Voids, 2 Glimmer Voids, dying to explosives. Really surprised they played the Glimmer Void there. I have a Kroxa on top, I'll just go and keep that. Three and oh, let's go! I don't think that matchup's great. I'm a slow hand on the draw. You can see the trophies on the screen. I got a trophy last night when I recorded my CFB video. And Prince also got another trophy last night, so we're still a little behind. Blue-red Murktide. Yeah, his hand's like really bad on the draw against Murktide, I think. Oh, I'm snapping off this block. What did Nimble to 6? Cookbook. Okay. Interesting. We usually have a pretty good cookbook matchup. We've got another Ragavan on top, which we could maybe just dress down if they dash. I have set it to only 1 hat a stream, so to avoid any hat stacking shenanigans. How many leagues do I play daily? Not as much as I need to if I want to win this race. It's usually like 3 to 4 on stream. Maybe I guess more than that because we're actually dropping at lower records now to try to catch back up. I guess I'll just leave them with the 3-2. And then typically 1 league off stream a night, or sometimes 2. But if I'm writing for Channel Fireball, it's pretty often that I don't have time to play any off stream. Oh boy, well Pi is about to learn how Ragavan works against Dress Down. Although it actually kind of stinks here because apparently it's supposed to go back to their hand before the instep, and so I would like to be able to Thoughtseize it, but I actually can't here. Things should be fine. I'm gonna go hand Death Shadow, bottom drown, exile bolt the Ragavan. I has no cards in hand. Very ahead here. It started to pay cost for a second. Probably not read too much into that. I have enough land, I think. opponent could have Urza. I think I'm still playing Shadow. Why is Grief in my opponent's deck? Grief is too good for Modern to be banned to the Shadow Realm. Yeah, I lost to it in the top 8 of the Hunter Burton. I lost to Grief Ephemerate. Oh, they must have another Thought Monitor. They're going to discard a Thought Monitor. Which is fine. Drillstone's kind of good against Thought Monitor. What? They discarded Thought Monitor? I can't believe it. I would have slammed discarded Asmo here. I guess they get to kill my Shadow, but I feel like this just doesn't matter much. I guess I could brick on this. Didn't really. We're gonna put Lurrus in our hand. Should be pretty safe to do here. Oh yeah, it is weird. If we just taken the damage, then all of a sudden Grief doesn't die to Asmo. It's actually true. But they also exiled their Daredevil to Grief, and so now they don't have their cookbook loop. I did brick on a removal spell for Asmo, I guess. You can make Lurrus deal 6 to itself, maybe. What's this? Ephemerate Asmo. Okay. Spicy. You like your newest kitchen deck? No comment. I don't know. I'm just kind of getting a little bit weary of every week there being a new kitchen variant that just seems equally as dirtily and like seems like it has all the same weaknesses as all the other ones. There's just like, I think, too many moving pieces. There's too much going on. I guess I did have a comment after all, huh? I don't think I need to kill this Asmo right now. They can make Lurrus deal 6, but it doesn't kill the Shadow. We gain 6 off Lurrus if they want us to. Yeah, I think like the green base versions are pretty good with red and 6 and Goyf. That's probably the best version. But this list just has too much going on in my opinion. I guess I could go down to 1 and bolt this Asmo. Probably fine. Yeah, I really feel like the biggest problem with these decks is playing just 1,000 Oval Chase Daredevils. Like, that card is just like, makes you have so many awkward draws. As we gain 6 off the Lurrus. I mean, if they kill Lurrus, it does shrink the Shadow, but it's really, like, we're still just super ahead, you know? So we go Thoughtseize, grow the Shadow. See what their draw step was. Discard Ephemerate. On top. And then... I don't think I'm missing lethal here. Oh wait, I did. It's lethal. I don't care. Things way to build around Risen Reef, Young Seasoned Pyromancer. No, at least not for Young Pyromancer. Like, I don't think you can play Risen Reef Young Pyromancer because Young Pyromancer requires you to have a deck full of mostly instants. That just doesn't work. You could maybe play Seasoned Pyromancer though in Elementals. Why did you gain 6? So Asmo makes the creature deal 6 damage to itself, and Lurrus has lifelink, so deal 6 damage and gain 6 life. Let's bring in the 4th Dress Down, the Alpine Moons, the Explosives. Not sure exactly what we're cutting. They are playing Ragavan. I probably want to keep in the 1 mana removal spells. I feel like we can trim on the Inquisitions, leaving Thoughtseize because they're playing Thought Monitor. Maybe cut the 4th iteration on the draw. Maybe cut the 4th Ragavan on the draw. Both of these are probably fine. Could maybe cut a Kroxa. Let's cut a Kroxa. It's kind of bad against Daredevil. I don't really like Soul Guide Lantern against them usually. Is the new version just Guy or just a brew? I don't worry too much about what the food decks are doing. They're all really exactly the same deck, and they all are basically have all the exact same weaknesses. I really just would not sweat too much about what the food decks are doing. This hand's not great. I think we keep though. Put back second dress down. I saw it in Unearth in like the mirror matches, like the Lurrus mirrors. It's usually really good there. It's, you know, maybe it's definitely a flex spot, but it's like it's kind of my favorite card for these grindier matchups. I have an Alpine Moon on top. I'll probably draw that one. Although maybe I should have played Basic Mountain because I want to get Watery Grave with this. I can get Steam Vents maybe. Just gonna pass. Alpine Moon names Urza Saga. When it does so, the Urza Saga dies. I think future copies of Saga die too. I guess I want to cycle my dress down. Yeah, Saga's again. Yeah, Saga is a very, very slow card. So if when you get to blow it out, it really does swing the game in your favor a lot. We need to find a red source here. We did find one. Do I want a Kroxa or do I want a second explosives? It's kind of an interesting call. I guess I'll go for the second explosives. We're not like particularly threat light here. Then go for Blood Crypt. They bounce the Alpine Moon. You need explosives since they can't make tokens with Moon. I mean, explosives is like good against other cards in their deck too, like Cookbook. But it's like the Kroxa is like pretty bad if they have Daredevil in their hand. It's like very slow card, and we have 2 threats in our hand. I could see it going either way, you know. I think both are probably fine. I'm gonna hit a land pretty badly here. Did find one, found 2. So I guess I'm gonna go hand Scalding Tarn, bottom, exile Blood Crypt. Played Blood Crypt to just play a 1/1 shadow. And Iteration is pretty broken. Wait, why are they playing Shadow Skull Smashing? They have Fury in their deck? This is the key to the food decks, chat. Play Shadow Skull Smashing. It really unlocks everything. Makes the deck finally good. Bet you didn't think we'd figure it out. Yep. It's exactly why. Fury's really good here. Those both my guys. And they get to ephemerate it. Yeesh. Can't bolt the Fury now? Uh-oh. I get for talking all this trash, huh? Really very good exchange. Still have Lurrus. Fine. They're also playing Thought Monitor. Ephemerate's pretty good with that. Bolt, Fairy, Dress Down on their turn. Dress Down, I don't think does. I mean, I guess we take less damage. I think here I'm just gonna go Explosives on 3. Back Explosives, cast Ragavan. Well, first play of round 4s. Probably, yeah. We should have done that. Shout out to the second Steam vents, although we could have fetched differently. Making adjustments behind a bird. Let's look at the third lantern for the third Flusterstorm. I feel like there's like more rhinos on Moto than there is in the paper, but kind of a really small thing. Now, how are they playing Grief and Fury? It's kind of weird. Ambitious, maybe. Turn 7 Lurrus, still pretty good. If only we drew a relevant card. Oh wait, Lurrus. Oh wait, we get to play it. Yeah, very lucky to draw Lurrus here. It's entirely possible that these like Ragavan Darcy decks just have really good matchup against the food decks, and I just never lose to them, and I just kind of think that the food decks are garbage. That could absolutely be the case. A 5-minute answer to my Lurrus. We get to put them to 3 here with the dress down. I guess we'll play Channeler first to Surveil, and then I guess I'll Alpine Moon before dress down to get more Surveil. Oh, the best possible? I remember remembering Bauble triggers. I didn't know. I did like shuffle Lurrus into my deck every single match, but then as I was sideboarding, I always pulled it out. All right, first league of the day. We're playing for a trophy. We desperately need to get more trophies, so, and we have not done a very good job on stream converting in these 5th matches lately. But you know, we're playing what I think is, you know, the best deck in the format. So, gamblers, get your predictions in. Can I get a deck tech, please? Deck techs are $10 now. It's okay that you didn't know. We'll go ahead and do it for $5. We've got a good moment here. If you want to go ahead and post in chat, just going forward, they're $10. And please don't polite fight to give me $5 more. Don't do it. Fine. I really doubt that, you know, they're not on pace to match that this season, but that's who we're dealing with. That's who we're dealing with. I think on the draw on 6 cards I have to keep. Obviously this hand sucks. What made me decide to cut a Kroxa? I just kind of boarded in the 4th round in like every single match. Playing its Living End. Okay, well, the good news is that we've kept a shitty hand here, right? And so we're like way more likely to win our sideboard games anyways this match. Prince has been playing mono green Tron and just crushing with it. I mean, it's so easy to play like a ton of mono green Tron and do well with it. Okay, so here's the tough call, right? I can just cast a Death Shadow here, and that puts it in the graveyard for Living End. Is that good? I kind of don't think I need 2 Death Shadows in my hand anyways to beat them. Yeah, I think it's fine. I think obviously it could like not do anything, but if this ends up not doing anything, that means like we're probably winning the game anyways because we just drowned their only Living End. We put any post-image 2 leagues with the Tron deck? No. I don't have any Tron brews at the moment, sorry. Had a burn go yesterday. We lost playing for 5-0 with it. I didn't play very well either, but the deck seemed really strong. I might play, if it depends on how much time we have at the end of the stream. If it's like kind of a weird, if we have like an hour for the usual schedule and I don't really have time for another League of Grixis, then we'll maybe do another burn league. Put Lurrus in a different sleeve. Yeah, that's probably what I should do. I'm not gonna be playing like almost any paper going forward though. At least like in the foreseeable future. Which is why I was like pretty sad going into the Hunter Burton weekend. Like there's this really cool tournament, it was really well prepared, and it was, you know, people were all wearing masks and stuff, but It doesn't really seem like there's going to be many tournaments like this for the foreseeable future. Maybe SCG Con, but it's also true, like, I don't know. SCG Con's Halloween weekend. I like to spend that weekend with Esther. I mean, they know I've got this Drown in the Loch. I was lucky to draw land, I guess. Reef, Street Wraith, Architect's Wells, Curator. I don't think my Death Shadow's gonna be able to beat all of these by itself. Although if they don't take the dress down, they do have to block. I think I have to play the second Shadow. They don't, as they would be at 1. Well, if they don't block, then they just die to me drawing bolts. Although I guess they know if I'm drawing bolts or not. Actually, never mind. You're right. They have perfect info. Maybe we just need to find another Shadow here. Did find another Shadow. I was in a very similar spot to this in my one of my feature matches over the weekend. See if my opponent understands that I can block. I guess I can only block Architects and Shardless, but if Death Shadow, if you get dealt damage in combat, Death Shadow grows and would survive a block on Architects or Shardless Agent here. I played at the Hunter Burton Memorial Open, name of the tournament. I'm assuming they're not casting Living End. Oh, the other Living End is in their hand. This is just a pump spell. For 8, 13. Yeah, they just attack. No, I can double block Grief. No, but then they just, yeah. Okay, well, GG. We do have 3 Flusterstorms on our board and 2 Soul Guide Lanterns, so I'm feeling like as prepared as you really can be for this matchup. 2 bolts, 2 dress down. Pray to Clothis. Yeah, the tournament was streamed. I actually had 3 feature matches. One was like round 4, and then the last round of Swiss, and then first round of top 8. Is that if you type Hunter Burton Memorial Open, you should be able to find like their Twitch channel in the VOD. Trey, thank you for Twitch Prime. Hope you're having a good time. Appreciate you. It was a cool tournament. It's a charity tournament for suicide awareness prevention. It's been going on. It's been a series for like 7 or 8 years now. Yeah, Cedric Phillips had some feature matches. I didn't get to talk to Cedric all weekend. I was kind of hoping to, but he usually he just had his headphones on and I didn't want to bother him. Update the deck list. It should be up to date. If not, you could type !deck in chat and should take you to a link. I have to keep this hand. I know it's a 1-lander, but Ragavan also like almost always connects in this matchup. Suicide awareness and prevention. Not really the conversation. Not really the topic to joke about, chat. They're drawing Grief, so I guess I regret my decision to Bauble, huh? They use my real name for the feature matches. They hear they're doing another Hunter Burn in March of next year. That's the plan, I think. Yeah. They usually do it. They historically have done it in March. Yeah. They've pushed it back a bunch. So imagine they take this lantern. My Stream Decker does not seem to be updated. I mean, it should be. I've been having so many problems with Stream Decker lately. Yeah, I don't know what's going on. I mean, I can pitch Thoughtseize here. That would allow me to cast. I guess I'd rather Grief than Thoughtseize because I get to keep my treasure token. Yeah, I should have pitched Inquisition, apparently. I'm just gonna play this tapped. Yeah, I know I put another creature in their graveyard, but I'm not sure like we're beating Living End in this game, you know. They should probably Foundation Breaker my treasure. Decide against it. I think me keeping a treasure token is more relevant than me putting another creature in my opponent's graveyard. Obviously, it could of course matter, right? Gotta weigh the pros and the cons. They have a River Winder on top, so they shouldn't be able to Cascade next turn. And if I could draw a land, then I can go Lurrus, Soul Guide Lantern next turn. Third Ragavan's not a great draw, though. Drown is a good draw. Those out of the deck. Cycle Street Wraith. They're gonna hard cast Foundation Breaker. I'm not gonna counter this. Doesn't mean if I don't draw a land that I'm not gonna have Drown Up this turn. It should be fine. Should be fine here. They conceded. Wow. Okay, cool. Let's go to game 3. Harder on the draw for sure. Got a lot of good sideboard cards. All right. Submit. I like my plan. Could Lurrus Bauble. I think I'd rather Lantern. Just get the Lantern and play. We get to save the drown when we do that. Well, I really like having Flusterstorm in my hand. This hand is super soft to Grief, though. I probably can't mulligan. As just dumping in this league, it's good every league, man. We've played so many matches with this deck. Only one blue source is a bit awkward, too. No Ragavan. Maybe we should mulligan. I would have kept 7. Yeah, Flusterstorm is strong, but I don't think it's so strong that it can carry the entire hand. Yeah, like this, they just take my Flusterstorm with that hand. Obviously, like, this hand still has not that much going for it. They take the Channeler, not the Inquisition. Kind of surprised. They have another hand that just doesn't have any Cascade spells. I like drawing that. I'm definitely good at Inquisition. I guess it's just like the play. Just keep hands that don't have any targets. Just the play. Yeah, of course they always keep that hand. It's just like unlucky, right? That they have no targets. Of course they always keep the hand. Spartan, thank you for Twitch Prime. Appreciate ya. Cycle the Architects. Their hand is Gemstone Caverns and now 4 new cards. Spartan, thank you for Twitch Prime. Risen 14 months. Probably can't afford to cycle the dress down here. Boy, 14 months. Thank you as well. Just want to find a Flusterstorm off this Bauble. Lightning Bolt is not Flusterstorm. It's like the way they're playing slow all of a sudden does make me think that they have Violent Outburst. I don't think I can cycle the dress down. Guess we can go end of turn, dress down, untap, cast Kroxa. Kroxa being in the yard can be good, but I don't think it's going to be like that good in this particular game. They tapped wrong. Also possible we just need to cast Iteration and look for another piece of interaction this next turn. Maybe my opponent will go for Violent Outburst in response to this. They don't know that I have this Drown in the Loch. Yeah, let's cast Iteration, not Kroxa. I think just trying to find another piece of interaction is key here. Drawing like land Thoughtseize, land Lantern, land Flusterstorm. All would be really good here. Totally fine if they force this. Deal. Deal, deal, deal. GG. Yeah, they have one living in left in their deck too, so sad. Been some bad beats. Dude, I have like just been so bad at converting for a trophy lately. There's just nothing we could have done really this game, I feel. Play it out. Come on, chat. Come on, chat. I don't have outs. There's such thing as too much belief. The struggle.